Hey, I saw a chick 3 weeks ago. We were at the Kodak Theater. We were celebrating our third championship. It was a video release party, and he was there with Marge, and it was our third championship, his ninth, as we all know, and I was excited to see him. I snuck up behind him and gave him a big hug. He was sitting in a chair. I said, "Chickie, how you doing, baby? How you feel?" And he turned and he looked at me and said, "Hey, Foxy." He said, "I feel great." He said, "I feel great. I'm ready to go. So I'm ready for the season to start." He said, "Let's go." I said, "All right, Chickie, let's go." I said, "Let's go. Let's get this started." If you ever watched a Laker game, which we've all watched them anywhere across the country that's ever had the opportunity to watch Chick call a game, there's always been a time in that game where he'd tell you, behind every good man is a great woman. And he'd always stop to thank Marge for making him what he was. And that's remarkable. A lot of men don't understand how to appreciate those that push them and drive them and keep them going. Marge, I have to say thank you on behalf of my teammates, for keeping Chick going for 42 years. By keeping him going, you kept the city going, kept the organization going, you kept us as players going. And now it's our turn. This is your extended family, the city, us here. It's our turn to be there for you. We'll always be there for you. I hope you know that. You were talking about traveling just now, and it made me think about how impatient a traveler Chick was. And those that travel with us know, John Black will tell you, Rudy will tell you, coaches he'll tell you, players. He was slightly impatient, and but we were all the same way. He just knew how to verbalize it. Anytime there was a delay for some reason to getting off the ground, Chick would tune in from the back, "Let's go." He'd say it 2 or 3 times, and pretty sure enough, we wouldn't be long before we'd be off the ground. And I think about that, and for a long time I kind of wondered, let's go. He was always ready to go, And when I thought about it, I guess I'd be cranky about traveling too if a plane and some bad weather kept me from one day of work. He just didn't trust him. I don't blame him. A streak of 3,338 games. We get happy about 19 in a row, right? But he was always gracious in making us feel good about those 19. But I'll never forget that. He'd always chime in, "Let's go." I'd always get a kick out of it, and always make me smile. And there was other times during those flights where he'd walk up and down the aisles, and he'd stop at the card game, win or lose. He'd stop at the card game, and he'd sit right on my shoulder. Brian Shaw and myself, he'd sit right between us. And he would, I'd like to think he was playing my cards. It's like the only time I won. But he would sit there and he'd commentate the game. He would, and he'd get laughs out of us, and we could hear him say, "Boy, you guys are mean to each other." And but he got a kick out of it, and I enjoyed the fact that he would stop and just spend that time with us outside of being Chick the announcer. So as I'm here today, as I thought all week long, I guess what I really want to say is thank you, Chick. Thank you for setting the tone of excellence in the Laker organization for 42 years. I know Shaq says, I saw what Shaq said, he's going to miss you calling him Kareem O'Neal. And I see Cole, I'm sure Kobe gonna miss him calling you Magic, Bryant. But that's what made Chick great. I see James, I always remember, I used to wait for that time he'd call me like Rick Worthy. And, it never came, James. But no matter how good or bad I played or how indifferent I was on the court, whether it was on the plane or, in the hallway after the games, he always met me with a kind word or a smile, and he always made me feel like I was worthy of wearing a Laker uniform. So I gotta say thank you for that. So let's go, right, Chick? Let's go. Okay, I guess that's how I'll remember Chick. And I'll always remember him, as we all will, for being ready to go. Ready to go to the next city, ready to go to the next opponent, the next team, the next season, the next championship, the next trip home to Marge. I can hear him now. Let's go. Oh, Chicky, I got one last thing to say to you. We're not going to let you go, buddy. You'll always be here with us. You're the driving force behind us. Thank you.